Good morning to everyone, and thank you, Tom, for inviting me here. This has been a very nice event. I'm happy to be here. And as Karen just told us, this sustainability in mining is very complicated. And when I started to think what kind of presentation I should prepare, I was kind of puzzled that it's so complicated how to approach that one. And first, I think that should I concentrate or focus on natural resources and extraction, perhaps production, material flows, perhaps demand and consumption, export, import, and I ended up to have a more or less this kind of approach. And actually, after Karen's talk, I'm quite happy I ended up this way because I don't have to repeat all those things that Karen said. So I hope that I can give you some kind of other viewpoint on this based on the development in Finland. So the policy development and the money is I think they are key drivers or very powerful tools at least to promote sustainability also in the mining sector. The content of this talk, I will go through past policy development and then some forthcoming policy development and other activities and say a few words about the future outlook. And this is just one picture from the metal prices, and this is copper metal prices, and as the Karen showed us some figures that there was a decline of metal prices and consumption, and something happened China happened in the 2000 around 2000, and but before that in Finland we saw also kind of decline in momentum, the mining momentum, and there was impact on government-owned company policies and education and research and investments. And when I started to study economic geology in early 19s, a couple of the professors said that, well, it's a thing of the past, don't bother. But I studied economic geology and I haven't had any regrets on that. So after the prices were skyrocketing, there was initiative in European Union that has 3 pillars. They understand it's crucial to have an uninterrupted global availability of raw materials, and there should be new utilization of raw materials within EU, and there should be sparing and sustainable use and recycling of raw materials. And soon after that, we wake up in Finland also, and there was Sitra, that is non-governmental organization. They decided to make a natural resource strategy for Finland. That was good initiative, and it recognizes the raw materials initiative, but almost totally ignores minerals, and that was a little bit sad for us. Although it says that, well, perhaps we need strategies for specific natural resources. And after that, we made in our survey prognosis that what could be the development path of metal mining in Finland. And soon after this illustration, there was awakening in political level. Perhaps we should do something about it. And that launched mineral strategy process for Finland, and that was led by Ministry of Economy and Employment, and we made it within 1 year, and there was a clear vision that we should be global leader in sustainable utilization of mineral resources, and the mineral sector would be one of the key foundations of our economy. That would be based on global competitiveness, secure supply of raw materials, and dynamic regional development and life cycle thinking. There was 3 pillars also, as they usually are. Solution for global mineral chain challenges and promoting domestic growth and prosperity and mitigating environmental impacts. And there were several action proposals. We should strengthen the minerals policy, secure the supply, and reduce environmental impacts, and increase productivity, and strengthen the research and development activities. And soon after that, there was an idea to have a report from the government to parliament and what we should do with natural resources in Finland. And at the same time, before this, there was also a biostrategy made in the late 2010. And those 2, mineral strategy and bio strategy, were combined to have this report on natural resources to Parliament. And that, I have to say that the mineral sector was well included, but in general, the tendency was towards a shift from industry to services, and we were not so happy at the moment also. But later, there was a new government, and the mineral sector was well recognized in government plan in 2011. And that the angle was a little bit different. We should have a growth and employment from mineral sector. And then we were quite happy, and things started to happen. First of all, there was a new Mining Act, and that gives more consideration to both ensuring and prerequisites for mineral exploration and mining activity, as well as environmental aspects. Citizen rights, landowners, and municipalities. And there was a lot of debate on that, whether it's good or bad for the mining industry, but in general, I think it was good to revise that one. And that's a good sign towards mining companies that we are active on the business, and that we'd like to be transparent and so on. And then there was mining financing liquidation assignment from Ministry of Economy and Employment, which actually later led to a budget allocation of 30 million euros to mining investments. We have this Finnish Industry Investment Fund or company that can make direct investments, and they receive this kind of sum of money to do it. And the other one, crown jewel, was the green mining program funded by Tekes, which is an innovation fund in a way. And here are some themes that are included in this program. There's the material and energy efficiency, controlling environmental impacts, work organization development, mine dressing, plant pilot projects, 2, let's say, baskets of projects, new mineral resources, that is kind of securing the future supply. And then there's the intelligent and minimal impact or invisible mining. It's directed towards processes and mining itself. And then there's equipment, machinery on that side, and we should provide some ideas on services and new business concepts associated to services. So that was the base, or the blueprint of this green mining program. So there was 30 million of government money and 30 million euros coming from the companies that was applying for this research project. And all the 60 million euros have now spent already. And so we have a number of projects, and we are looking forward to see the results from those projects. This is just a slide on the green mining concept. Perhaps I don't go through that one. I suppose you can get the slides afterwards. And after the government program, which mentioned the minerals in several occasions. Ministry of Employment and the Economy decided to make another action plan or strategy. That's a Sustainable Extractive Industry Action Plan. It was finalized last year, and there's a number of new measures to take to improve the sustainability in mineral sector. It covers, besides mineral sector, metal refining, technology and service providers, public administration, and the development of business environment, development of research and training, and recycling and life cycle aspects. And different from the previous ones, the strategies and plans, there's implementation plan, and there's a plan to follow the implementation. That is something different. So to me, it says that the political level is very committed to this one. It was actually launched from the Prime Minister's office, the whole strategy project. So there will be a steering committee and roundtable meetings every year, and they're following through how it goes. So very strong input from the political side. Here are the main players and focus areas within this action plan. There's an industry associated focuses like continuous improvement, dialogue with the stakeholders, open communications. Then for the public sector, there's a good administration, competence, sustainable use of raw materials, development of operating environmental, and something to do all together. Growth through internationality and so on. And there's 1 to 7 measures for each focus. And there was I think something like 100 or 200 stakeholders engaged to this process, and so we had good discussions on there how we should proceed. And now to forthcoming and policy development and activities. There's a revision of the government report to Parliament on natural resources that is under is in progress. That should support implementation of this action plan. That could have an impact on research and development and innovation funding. And I suppose, at least at the moment, it looks like the minerals are again well included there. So in that sense, it's looking good again. There will be more, at least we know now, there will be more research funding. The Finnish Academy had this small targeted call last fall. The deadline was in December. That was targeted to primary mineral resources. That was something new, at least for geoscientists. Usually the Finnish Academy hasn't been so keen on primary mineral resources. And the main call, actually the program is in preparation, and we expect to see perhaps about 10 million euros of research funding there. There's a link to the site. And then there's a stakeholder panel that will be launched during this year. I think that is also made by Sitra. It's in preparation by Sitra, this Innovation Fund. It will act as a platform for dialogue between the mineral industry and its stakeholders. The Sitra will facilitate the platform and support the formation of common procedures for agreement making and exchange of associated best practices. So I suppose we will hear more about that in early 2014. And so some words about the future outlook. There's a recent report from Intiera Raw Materials Group. They see that the ore production in Nordic countries will grow until 2020. There's some figures that might be a little bit different from ours, but anyway, they are going in the right direction. And in that sense, it's looking good also. And last year, we had a top ranking in Fraser Institute Mining Destination Survey. And 1st of January this year, we changed our corporate tax rate from 24.5 to 20. That's quite a significant reducement. So we'll see what that will do. I suppose we will have some kind of investment coming into Finland. At least it should promote investing. And then there's Horizon 2020, this European research funding scheme that actually included a number of minerals associated topics, and we're looking forward to have a more activity on that, based on that also. So to conclude, there's a lot of horizontal and vertical activity fostering more sustainable mining in Finland and also in wider scale. And based on this activity on policy side and based on the almost 100 million euros that is spent there, we can expect also some results. Okay. Tack för uppmärksamheten.